Yo,
Yo,
on the door.
for the watch.
What to do?
Hey, what it don't?
What is going on? Back to you with another honest review. Um, with Flick Filter. I'm Big Diesel.
And I'm Coach.
So
Yes.
that's
Yes, indeed.
end of the video. Okay, let's
All right, let's go.
go. No. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the entity.
Really?
Yes.
Chat GPT.
No. Well, actually, yes. Kinda. Yes, actually. Yeah, we're talking.
Don't do Chat GPT. All right, over.
No, we are talking about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
No spoilers. I have not seen any zero, so I got some homework to do. But I have not seen any Mission Impossibles.
Crazy.
Shocker, shocker.
That is kind of crazy.
But you cannot expect even the biggest movie reviewers not to see everything.
True.
We can't see everything. So
True. But none of them. That's kind of crazy.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
kind of went right over. Just
You know, you know. So as um somebody. So what? As somebody who hasn't seen any of them, what should I know about Mission Impossible?
um,
Just as a whole.
Well, Mission Impossible is an action spy series franchise featuring Thomas McAfee. It's Tom Cruise. Yeah, Tom Cruise. Sorry, I'm acting like I'm reading off of Wikipedia. Yeah, so Tom Cruise, of course. Ever heard of him?
No.
Nah, me neither. But yeah, of course, yes, Tom Cruise. He basically started this franchise almost 30 years ago. Well, started the movie franchise of it. It actually was TV show way back in the day.
Did not know that.
Yeah, see, learn something every day. It's a TV show, um, kind of like an action spy TV show. The movies apparently a little bit different. But yeah, Tom Cruise, he kind of reignited it almost 30 years ago. It's kind of like his big passion project.
His baby.
Yeah, he's been like the producer, star of every movie thus far. Each movie has had it kind of like its own premise. So these movies are kind of built around the stunt in a sense, like at least probably the later movies. That's kind of how they were kind of built. Now in the earlier movies, I think each of the first four movies had a different director, and that was very intentional. I think. Well, I don't know exactly how it was going in, but I know the very first movie had one director, pretty successful. The next movie had a different director, stylistically very different. Um, but each one after that kind of had a different director until uh, Rogue Nation. That was the first one with Christopher uh, McHugh. I cannot pronounce his last name, but Tom calls him McHugh. But anywho, so he's done the last four of the movies, and they've kind of all had this connective tissue. Each of the movies are connected in some way, but they're kind of like these last four. They've kind of been bigger each time, building on like each one. They have these like really big stunts. Tom is always going into these crazy missions. The IMF is the Impossible Mission Force, and he's always undercover doing some crazy mission, trying to save the world. And yeah, that's basically the gist of Mission Impossible. They're these spy thrillers that yeah have these really cool missions.
Okay. Okay. So, what is your favorite? Top three.
Ooh, that's tough. Probably Fallout might be my number one. That one came out some years ago. That had Henry Cavill. That was a really good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
everybody
yeah,
likes them.
yeah. That fight scene probably one of the best fight scenes in the whole franchise. That bathroom scene. Yeah, that might be my number one. Just in terms of the action, along with the story, the set pieces, just so many iconic moments, and just a great overall movie. Um, then I may say the first Mission Impossible might be the next one, which I feel like at this point might be underrated because I feel like a lot of people have that in like the lower tier, but I really like the direction behind it, the way it was shot. It's one of the shorter movies I think in the franchise, but I feel like they do a lot with the runtime. I feel like um, when I went, I actually only saw it for the first time maybe a few years ago, because I kind of ended up initially seeing these movies a little bit out of order. I think I saw Mission Impossible 3 first.
Crazy. You
Yeah,
know me, I got it.
yeah. But that was like just kind of like my entry point because I didn't really know much about the the franchise. But um, when I finally went and saw one, I was like, wow, this is really good. Like it had all the iconic moments, but then there were also things that surprised me as well. Um, yeah, I just feel like it's a really solid movie. It was directed by Brian De Palma, one of the great directors, and that was kind of like a one-off for him. Um, but yeah, it was classic movie. Really cool. It was just I would say go and see it.
What's number three?
So that one's tough. Probably either between Ghost Protocol which was the fourth movie, and Rogue Nation, which was the fifth. So between one of those two, I do want to go back and watch all of them in order. Well, yeah, go back and watch all of them just to see how
Maybe
each
just
holds up.
reaction.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. You got
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But anywho, so what can you tell us about this one?
So what I can say about this movie um, is one. So the Final Reckoning, it was initially supposed to be part two of Dead Reckoning. So Dead Reckoning came out a couple years ago, and that one was pretty good, but it kind of left off at sort of a cliffhanger. So you knew that there was going to be one after it because essentially the villain of this movie is AI. This AI that was developed. There is a human villain that was that Ethan. So Ethan is Tom Cruise's character. He knew him from his past, and he sort of comes back. This is the first movie you actually see him in. Well, Dead Reckoning is the first time you actually see this character, but he apparently was somebody that Ethan knew years and years prior, and he wants to control the entity, which is the AI. So the AI is this like artificial intelligence that wants to essentially take over slash destroy the world. So with the Final Reckoning, it leads, it picks up where the Dead Reckoning ended. Ethan is kind of like in
No spoilers.
not spoiling, but he's in. I mean, he gotta basically save the world. I will say though, there's a lot of um, it there. It has some similarities to. I hate when people compare it, but it's a fair comparison. A lot of people compare it to Fast and Furious, where it's like you got different people that join the team in each one. I like these movies because they're very like team based in terms of like you have people that maybe in one movie and then they'll come back in another one and then they'll maybe around for like 3 or 4 movies. Um, uh, Ving Rhames has been in all the movies thus far. Um, some movies he has a bigger role than others, but so far he's been in all of them. Simon Pegg, he's been in most of them. So you definitely have these characters that are like core members of the team,
Yeah, OGs.
OGs, and then you got other people that may come in for a movie or two, and then there may not be in another one. But it's really cool that in all the movies, it's very much like Ethan believes in like protecting his friends, protecting the
You said
team.
family.
Yeah, yeah. So that goes back into the whole Fast and Furious theme. Is like his friends are like he's very loyal to the people around him. And I feel like that's what kind of distinguishes him from like a character like a James Bond, who he does have people that he cares about, but he's very guarded and like he
Yeah.
doesn't want people to get in. He has a lot of trauma, which I feel like Ethan does as well, but I feel like Ethan is maybe a little bit more adjusted. Um, he's really like if you think about it, he's really a superhero without powers, I guess. But if you watch the movie, then you're like, you may be convinced he does have some sort of powers. I don't know. Um, yeah, but he has this really big mission, has to stop AI. There are these very crazy scenes that you're like, I don't know how he makes it through this. Well, one how Ethan makes it through this, but then how Tom makes it through it because he's literally doing all these stunts, and the way it's shot, you're like, it looks very real. Like it looks like, oh wow, he's really in this boat in this submarine. Oh, he's really up there flying these things. Oh, he's really jumping off this cliff. Oh, he's really running up this, building, doing all the like, yeah. Um,
Spoiler alert:
yeah,
Tom is Ethan,
yeah. Or Ethan is Tom,
or vice versa.
or neither, or everything.
All
Who
at once.
knows? Yeah, it is a anyway. Um, yeah, it's kind of hard to get into too much. I will say it's a long movie. There's a lot of exposition because I think they did it in such a way that they know people, they know that there's people that have watched all the movies, but then they also know people that haven't. So they do this thing where they kind of like remind you of what's happened in all of them, and then they even try to tie in certain things that happened in previous movies where it's like, oh yeah, this thing that was never explained. Oh, we're now going to explain that, and now we're going to tie this into this movie. Oh, now we're going to reintroduce this character that we ain't seen in all these years, and now they have a significant role. So it's like it's pretty cool how they were able to do that. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any more questions about the overall plot? Because I mean, I can talk about. I don't want to say too much without giving stuff
Does
away.
does Mission Impossible still hold up?
Like the first one, or
No,
just
just like in general, like the franchise.
I think it does. Um, I will say, I think the last couple of movies have had kind of diminishing returns in terms of the quality because I think the stunts are like they can get bigger and bigger, which is that part still impresses me. But I think the story wise, I feel like it kind of peaked at Fallout. So that's why I think that it may be about time to give the franchise a rest. I don't know if they're going to be done with it completely, but I'm saying the movies are quality. But I would say with this one, I feel like the story overall probably isn't the strongest, but I'm still glad they made it. But in comparing it to the rest of the, or at least like maybe like 4, 5, and 6, um, it's like okay, yup. I feel like the franchise may be running its course. I don't want it to get to like Fast and Furious where they're going
Yeah.
like 10, 11, and
Yeah.
it's like okay, how are y'all going to keep milking this?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah. Um. Other than that, I got nothing with it.
that's cool.
What do you think about it altogether?
So altogether, I I enjoyed it. I would say definitely it's one you should see in the theater. Um, Tom Cruise is a big ambassador for the theatrical experience. Um, and I think he does. He makes these movies in such a way where it's like you want to see it on a big screen, regardless of if it's like, oh yeah, this is the best movie ever, or this has the best story. But I still feel like for the for the action alone, it's like yeah, you do want to see that on a big screen. So that's why I'm glad um, they they made the movie. If they keep making these movies, I'm gonna go see them. But I'm also like I kind of want them to do something else, Tom to do something else, whether it's action, whether it's something different. Um, but I still, again, still enjoyed it. Um, I liked the additional characters that they added for this movie. I liked the callbacks to the other movies. The exposition, I feel like there was probably a little bit too much. It is almost 3 hours long. I'm not gonna say it was like a slow 3 hours because it definitely fits in a lot of action, but again with the exposition, I feel like it may have dragged certain things, and I think they may have over-explained certain things too much to the point where that actually made it a little more confusing, at least for me. Um, but yeah, I would say go see it, but also I would say you definitely want to watch the other movies beforehand.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, so what do you rate it?
I would rate this. Um, what are we going back for? Probably like a four, 3.5 to a four. Um, I would say a four, um, a four for in terms of the stunts because they were that impressive. Um, I was gonna say 3.5 at first, but I was like, no, I'm gonna push it up to a four because of the stunts.
Okay.
They're able to pull off.
Okay. Um, so yeah. Anyways, um, after I probably see all of them and then see this one, we'll probably come back and then talk about my experience with it.
Yeah.
And then just go back and forth. So do
Mm-hmm.
a whole nother video. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I got a lot of homework to do.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anywho,
Mm-hmm.
um, anyways, that is all we have to today.
Yeah.
Please like, share, and subscribe, and rank all of your favorite Mission Impossible movies or favorite Tom Cruise movies in general.
Yes.
That's a big one.
That you could do that, and you could even rate the stunts, like your favorite stunts from all the movies. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So let us know what you think.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family. Um, yeah, and follow us on all social media platforms.
Yep, we're now on TikTok.
Now on TikTok.
Yes, yes, we're now
So
on TikTok. We need to definitely post that.
So we're gonna get more into TikTok.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyways,
Expanding the territory.
and we got more coming up. It's gonna be a good summer. So yeah. Anyways, see y'all in the next one.
See y'all in the movies.
All right. Bye.
Peace.